You know, I've been living in Southern California for like a year and a half now, and I totally have something on my mind. Hello, my friends of the worldwide webs. It is Susan, aka KindaQwerky. There are some things in the movie Clueless that when I moved to California, I thought were going to be true. And now that I'm here, I can tell you all the ways that Clueless misled me on my impressions of Southern California. Now, I imagine, having grown up in Ohio, that I am not the only one whose expectations of California were influenced by this movie. As you will recall, when the movie came out in '95, it changed the lexicon of girls everywhere to include words like totally, as if, loser, whatever, which I'm kind of glad has passed. Let's start with one of the biggest points of the plot of the movie. There were not actually two extremely popular girls waiting for me to arrive in California to take me under their wing. What is up with that, ladies? Who saw that one coming? I love the opening line of Clueless. It might be one of the only movies where I actually know the first line of the movie.
Okay, you're probably going, is this like an Oxyma commercial or what?
Her life looks like a skincare commercial. I don't know that they're actually any more good looking than the rest of the country. I guess it's a matter of preference. And yes, while maybe there are a lot of people here that have clear skin, I actually wouldn't say that there are more people who have clear skin here over any other part of the country. What they do have here is extremely dry skin. I might actually say that California looks more like a Dove commercial. While Clueless was responsible for such words that swept the nation as duh, like whatever, loser, as if, one of the things that I thought was really cool is that all of the kids had really extensive vocabularies.
Excuse me, Miss Dion.
Thank you.
Okay, but street slang is an increasingly valid form of expression. Most of the feminine pronouns do have mocking, but not necessarily misogynistic undertone.
And it's because of this, Clueless actually left me thinking that everyone in Southern California must have a pretty epic vocabulary. If I branched too far out of my two-syllable standard vernacular, people would ask me, what does that mean? I have been told it's not cool to use words greater than 2 syllables because people don't understand them, and that's why it's not cool. I personally think it's very cool to use words greater than 2 syllables to improve upon one's lexicon and to change the dynamic with which we speak. It is a conundrum.
What's the point? Everywhere you go has valet.
What's the point? Everywhere you go has valet. Okay, I will agree. Most places that they probably went had valet. I think Trader Joe's in Southern California looks for places with the smallest possible parking lots and says, that's where we're gonna put a store. And there is no valet. People won't park your car everywhere. Some places, you have to park it yourself. The California freeways.
Yo, you're getting on the freeway!
What?
Hey,
What do I do?
Yo, whatever you do, keep your hands off the wheel at all times!
I think that this is one of the most memorable scenes in the entire movie. And I will say this, I honestly thought when I came out here that the California freeways must be way more frightening than any other freeway in the United States. California freeways will test your patience. California freeways may be annoying if you're sitting in traffic. They give you plenty of time to listen to books on tape. They may be ideal if it's 10 o'clock at night and they get you home from work in 5 minutes. Can be congested, although if you live here, you learn how to move around without taking the freeway. They can absolutely be confusing when they decide to close the on and off ramps at certain points in like construction periods. They can be a lot of things, but I have never been terrified to drive on them. California freeways can definitely take down the average miles per gallon that your car says you get. My car gets just fine mileage, by the way. I'm just still making up for all those times I spent sitting in stop-and-go traffic in LA.
Oh, a party.
It's in the valley. The cops usually break them up in less than an hour.
This one is probably my favorite Clueless misconception of all, which is parties in the valley get broken up within an hour. When I moved to Southern California, I moved to the valley, and I can tell you from experience, having lived in an apartment complex and having to get up early for work, there were definitely parties that did not get broken up in an hour. In fact, there are parties that went on all night until my alarm went off in the morning. Bastards. So with that in mind, I have realized that I am like so totally clueless on California. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just a reminder, I am now doing videos the first and third Thursdays of each month. That works out to about every other week, but for those of you who don't want to have to keep track, go ahead and just hit the subscribe button below so that you don't miss any forthcoming videos. If you like Clueless, if you like Southern California, if you like me, like it up. up, subscribe, share. Until then, I hope you have whatever kind of day you want to have. You know how picky I am about my shoes, Dee, and they only go on my feet. You know who else had an extensive vocabulary in the 90s? Dawson's Creek. Those kids knew how to use some big words. Selfie tutorial number 1. Always make a goofy face for your first photo. And after that, your mouth will be loosened up enough to give a nice smile.